All right, cool. So to graph this function, just remember that when you see it written like this is called the factored form. So write this down, factored form. It's still a second degree polynomial because you're going to take this x and multiply it by this x at some point in time. But I already know for a fact where the zeros are. Okay? The zeros are going to occur probably at -1 and +3, right? If I set both those factors equal to 0, right? So my x-intercept, so it's probably going to look something like this. I also know that it's probably going to have a y-intercept. Because of this negative sign in the front, it's probably going to open down. So it's probably, and I'm just guessing, I could be completely wrong. This might be -1 and way over here at 3. I think it's going to cross at +3. And so it's probably going to look something like this. Make that noise as you're drawing it on your paper. I could be wrong, but I want to get the image in my head to see. Now, we're going to grab our handy dandy calculators. So go ahead and pull out your handy dandy calculator. Turn those bad boys on. And I want everybody to grab the calculator because we want to practice this. So I want you to become proficient with this as well. Now, I can enter this the same way, but do I put a minus sign or a negative sign? What do you guys think? Huh? I can't hear you because you're so negative. Okay, yeah, it's a negative. So we're going to put a negative sign because we're not subtracting this. That's how you could tell. If we're not subtracting something, then we always use the negative sign. So we're going to say negative, open parentheses. Let me make this big for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to say, oops, I got to see what I got to type in there. So then we're going to say x plus 1, close parentheses, open parentheses, x minus 3. Okay? Now before we get the graph, make sure that you guys are plugging that in there. Put that in your hand. Try it. Let's go. Try it. Plug it in. Grab that. It's just like your phone, sort of. Try it. Try it when you get a chance. Okay? Make sure you enter that in your calculator. All right? All right, let's hit graph. Graph button right here, right? All right. I'm going to hit my graph button. See what we got? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That looks weird, doesn't it? What do I got to do? Doesn't look like my graph. It sort of does. I got to zoom out, all right? I got to adjust the zoom. So hit your zoom button. Yours might be goofy too. And we're going to go to zoom standard, which is number 6. So if you hit 6, it'll take you there. If you just scroll down using the cursor, but now you'll get like a regular graph. Oh, look at that, huh? It's exactly what I said it would be because, well, I've memorized the forms and I'm a math teacher. But hopefully, if I teach this right and you learn it right, you should be able to do the same thing on the SAT. Remember, you got to do like 60 problems in like 60 minutes. It's a problem a minute, okay? So we're going to label this because, you know, it matters. So the zeros occur at -1, 0. The y-intercept is a +3, so that's going to be 0, +3. And then the other 0 is 3, 0. Now what I did to get those in my head real quick is I said, okay, x plus 1 must equal 0. X minus 3 must equal 0. That gave me my two x's. X equals -1, x equals +3. Those gave me my zeros, my x-intercepts. The y-intercept, remember, this will end up, if I multiply that out, it'll be ax squared plus bx plus c. Well, that c term is just going to be this number times this number, which would normally be -3, but I got to multiply it by a negative again. So that meant that c would be equal to a +3. This is going to give me a equals -1. Remember that when a equals a negative, it flips it upside down. Okay? Normally the parabola is like, oh, let's write that down too. Oh, well, we'll just write it in the notes. All quadratics are parabolas or parabolic shapes. So, just so you guys know, this is a quadratic. Why is it a quadratic? It's a second-degree polynomial. And that means that it has x squared somewhere. And the shape of the graph will always be parabolic. So it's a parabola. And that's the U shape, right? Okay. Any questions on that one?